Welcome students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Human Health and Disease, Chapter 10, Part 3. In my previous lecture, we have studied about structure of antibody, formation of antigen antibody complex, ABO blood group system. In that we have studied about different types of blood group. So today let's move on to the other part of the chapter. In today's lecture, we will be studying about common human diseases, types of diseases, modes of transmission, and we will be studying about malaria. Common human diseases. Disease is defined as condition of disturbed or deranged functioning of one or more organs or organ system of the body caused due to infections, defective diet or heredity. So disease is defined as condition of disturbed or deranged functioning. When your body is not functioning properly, it may be an organ or an organ system due to infections or any defective diet, or it may be hereditary. All human diseases can be broadly categorized into congenital disease and acquired disease. Now, what are these congenital and acquired diseases? Congenital diseases are present from birth. So, the disease which you have right from the birth are congenital. May be caused by genetic abnormality or metabolic disorder. They may be permanent and were practically incurable. Like we don't have cure for a chromosomal or a genetic disorder. It is hereditary and it is passed from one generation to another. However, modern research has helped to cure some inborn diseases through gene therapy, enzyme replacement therapy, etc. And these therapies are part of biotechnology. These are the techniques of biotechnology. Next is the acquired. So, acquired diseases developed after the birth and can be subdivided into communicable or infectious disease or non-communicable or non-infectious diseases. So, the disease which you generally adopt during the lifespan each and every day, so they are acquired because you are acquiring it, and they are classified into two main types. First is infectious and the second is non-infectious. Transmission of disease. The disease which are transmitted from infected person to another healthy person either directly or indirectly are known as communicable or infectious disease. For example, malaria. Another example, the best you can give is of coronavirus, because it is also a form of communicable disease. It is transmitted from an infected person to a healthy person. Next is non-communicable. It is the disease that cannot be transmitted from infected person to a healthy person. So that diseases are called non-communicable or non-infectious. For example, cancer and deficiency diseases are example of this type. So they are called non-communicable disease. Communicable disease are caused by pathogens like viruses, bacteria, fungi, helminth, worms, etc. All the disease causing organisms, what they are called? Pathogens. Infectious, I repeat, infectious disease are communicable disease which are caused by pathogens. They may be bacteria, virus, fungi, helminth, worms, any of this. Okay. Transmission through parasites. Many pathogens use another organism, the vector, to reach us. These vectors are actually parasites which we regularly come across. Parasite is an organism that lives in or on the body of another organism and derives its nutrition from that of the host organism. So these parasites, they stick to another living organism and they actually take all the nutrition from that organism. And they are of two types. ectoparasite and endoparasite. Ectoparasite which lives on the upper surface, outer surface of the body. Endoparasites which lives inside the body. Ectoparasite, the best example is bedbug. Endoparasite, the example which is given in your textbook is of Plasmodium. Now Plasmodium is a protozoan. It is an endoparasite because of which malaria is caused. And this parasite, it is carried by a vector, that is mosquito. So mosquito is carrying this Plasmodium in the mosquito is carrying this Plasmodium, and it is like a vector. This mosquito is acting like a vector, and also the human beings, because they also carry that Plasmodium parasite once they are infected. So let's start with the first disease, that is malaria. Malaria, it is a vector-borne infectious disease caused by protist Plasmodium. There are 4 species of Plasmodium: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium falciparum. Only Plasmodium falciparum causes serious illness, while others are rarely fatal. So based on the species, there are 4 types of malaria. So malaria, it is a vector-borne disease, and the vector is mosquito. The protozoan is Plasmodium, and there are 4 types of Plasmodium: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium falciparum. And among these 4, Plasmodium falciparum is the most fatal one. When you are infected with the malarial parasite, you show the following signs and symptoms. Now the symptoms, they begin to appear about 7 to 15 days after the bite of infective mosquito. So initially you will just have fever, headache and chills. It may be difficult to recognize as malaria because fever and headache we have on normal basis. Classical symptoms of malaria is cyclic occurrence of high fever followed by sweating and sudden shivering. But when your fever turns into like you have very high fever, and suddenly you start sweating and suddenly you start shivering, this is the classical symptom of malaria. Such entire episode lasts to 4 to 6 hours and recurs every 2 days or 3 days. Other symptoms is vomiting, joint pain, anemia, and retinal damage, and cerebral malaria, that is the brain infection you get in some cases. So these are the signs and symptoms of malaria. When your body is infected with any of the 4 species of Plasmodium, you show the following pattern of high fever. Like first, for Plasmodium vivax, the incubation period is 14 days, and pattern of high fever is like after 48 hour of interval. Plasmodium malariae, incubation period is 28 days, and pattern of high fever, so high fever after 72 hour. Every 72 hour you will get in high fever. Plasmodium ovale, incubation period 17 days, high fever after 48 hour of interval. And Plasmodium falciparum, incubation period 12 days. These people, they show high fever at irregular intervals between 22 to 48 hours. Mode of transmission. Plasmodium is transmitted from one person to other through an insect vector, that is female Anopheles mosquito. When infected female Anopheles sucks the human blood, it may transfer sporozoites to human circulation. Sporozoites reproduce asexually through fission in the liver cells or erythrocytes. The cells formed are now called merozoites. So from sporozoites, it is called merozoites after the asexual reproduction through fission. The cells formed within erythrocytes, they function as gametocytes. Beside it forms gametocytes within erythrocytes. Now, gametocytes, if taken up by the female Anopheles, fertilization occurs in its gut. Diploid zygote is formed, which transforms into oocyst. Oocyst forms large number of haploid sporozoites through meiosis, and sporozoites migrate to salivary glands and are ready to infect new human host. I'll just explain you with the diagram. Diagram stages in the life cycle of Plasmodium in mosquito and human. So in the diagram you can see the cycle in mosquito as well as cycle in human. So when the mosquito it infects the human skin, the sporozoites they enter the body. It enters in the hepatic cell and it undergoes fission and the formation of merozoites takes place. Here merozoites they actually either divide into erythrocyte cells or tropozoite, and what happens, the newly infected erythrocyte cells are formed, and this newly infected erythrocyte cells they run in the body of the human being. So what happens when this female anopheles mosquito they bite again, if they suck the blood of this human, they take in the newly infected erythrocyte which forms a microgamete, and this by other divisions they form macrogamete, zygote, and it stays in the mosquito midgut. And again if this female mosquito it bites the human being, the cycle continues and the infection continues. Diagnosis and treatment for malaria. Malaria can be diagnosed by microscopic study of blood smear. Besides, other rapid diagnostic tests based on nucleic acid amplification techniques are also used. Treatment of malaria it includes artemisinin based combination therapies that are called ACTs. Now WHO they have recommended 5 different ACTs which include various combinations of artesunate, sulfadoxine, pyrimethamine, etc. So in addition, quinine is also used. Prevention and control. Prevention of mosquito bite by using mosquito nets and insect repellents, spraying insecticides, and draining stagnant water where mosquito lays egg. So wherever if you see a stagnant water and mosquitoes are just roaming around that water, you just stay away or just drain the stagnant water. Mosquito larvae can be controlled by using Gambusia freshwater fish. That is a biocontrol way of dealing with the mosquito larvae. So students, I hope you all must have understood about different types of disease. What are the different types, infectious, non-infectious, and vector borne, and different types of disease. We have studied with the first disease, that is malaria, how malaria is caused, what is the mode of transmission, how can we diagnose it, what are the treatments, prevention and control. So I hope you all must have understood. Just go through it, do the assignment. Thank you.